Hello, welcome to a video. I thought it would be fun to do a video that shows all the art I did in a month. These will likely become regular things. This is currently showing on screen my art from... Akira wants on my lap. Akira, you cannot sit on my lap at this point in time. But this is on screen my art from January of 2021. It's April at the moment, but you know, I don't know, I don't have words. On screen at the moment should be a speed art that I did in January. There are videos that show this speed art, and I think at the same time I was working on this speed art, I was also working on another one, because you can see up at the top a tab that shows Rosemary, and I know I was doing a speed art of her around the same time. I probably posted the videos somewhat close together, even like within a few days of each other. I don't know, I don't go and look to see when I post things. I was actually, before I kind of vanished, I was working on a video that showed all my art from 2020, and it was like, oh, that turned out to be a bigger project than I anticipated, which is why I kind of vanished, because every time I looked at the laptop I do my editing on, I was like, I don't want to do that thing. I could do other things, but I keep thinking about it when I look at this laptop. And I think the fact that I figured out how to do very minimalist editing on my main laptop has helped me get past that funk. Also the fact that my laptop that I used to do editing on, it's not the greatest. It's an old laptop, it doesn't have a working fan, it doesn't have a battery in it, so I really did need to move on from using that to edit. And I think that doing a video that has a whole year's worth of art wasn't entirely realistic. So this monthly kind of idea is a lot better. I don't know if I'll get January, February and March all done. Oh, Kira's making breed. I don't know if I'll get all three of those months done this month, but I'll do them in order at least. And eventually, at the start of each month, I will have a video that shows all the art of the previous month. And eventually I won't need to have these speed arts shown each month in the monthly summary. Instead, I can put the time lapses in, because I do actually use the time lapse feature a lot more often on Clip Studio Paint. Oh, Kiwi, she's so cute. I wish you could see her. But I do use the time lapse feature a lot more often, and I don't know when the time lapse feature was added actually. On the screen you can see skin being shaded, I presume, and I feel like the way I colour is really simple. Maybe it's a little over blended. Like, I feel like I need to use firmer lines more often, because quite often I just use the Gaussian blur and I kind of blur it in, and I kind of overdo it, and there should be a few more slightly firmer lines to show things. I also actually this month started using a new brush for my lines. I mean, I don't do the standard line art, but you know, the lines around the outside of each shape, which isn't entirely relevant to this video, because this is about my art in January, but January was so long ago, you know. I mean, don't you just feel like time is going incredibly slow, and it's like, oh, yesterday? That was a long time ago. Can't say anything about yesterday me. So this art of Briar was actually a redraw of something. It was a redraw of something that was a digital version of a traditional art, so that's kind of says a lot about myself, I think. I tend to redraw art a lot, and I definitely love drawing digital versions of traditional art I have, which I guess is useful, because my traditional art is never the most polished thing. Like, if I ever actually finish a sketchbook, I will probably do a sketchbook tour, but I don't finish sketchbooks all that often. I have a sketchbook at the moment. It's a 365 days journal. It's supposed to be a journal, but it's got blank pages, so I'm just using it to do an artwork each day. So that's fun. I've missed some days, but you know what? I like it. and I will probably show that to you at the end of the 365 days. And I like that the days in it aren't dated, so you can kind of start it on any day and you end up just finishing exactly a year later. And I think that's really fun, and I think I need to get another one of these journals when I finish this one, so I will, have another one to fill up right after. Except that's a lot of art. Like I have a monthly calendar thing, like a template, and every month I start a new one, and I try to do one digital artwork per day. And I'm doing this one digital artwork per day, and I have this physical sketchbook that I do one artwork per day, and it's like, well, you're doing technically 2 artworks per day, and that's a lot of art. But I don't know. I feel like I go through phases. Like I have days where I do lots of drawing, and then I might not really draw at all for a few days. I'm prone to drawing too much at once and burning out, and then not wanting to draw for a while. But I think I'm slowly getting on top of that and slowly getting a little bit better. I do the same thing with my YouTube channel, honestly. I do a whole bunch of content for the channel, and then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna vanish now. But that's something I also need to get out of the habit of. Like, I have a journal because I enjoy keeping a journal. I kept a journal last year, and I'm keeping a journal this year, and it's got a page for each day. I really like it. And one of my New Year's resolutions was to post a video every week, and I definitely failed at that. I don't think, I don't know. I'm not sure if weekly videos are entirely realistic, but I don't know, 1 video a month might be. Just not vanishing for periods would be a good goal. I don't really do well with schedules either, because as soon as I feel like I have to do something, it's like, oh, this is the worst thing ever. Like, I have a yearly calendar. Not yearly, it's monthly. It's a calendar, and it's got 1 square for each month of the year. The year summary, and I kind of have a theme going, and I haven't done art this month that fits the theme, and I keep looking at it, and I keep thinking, well, I should draw something that fits the theme, but I don't want to, but I also don't want to have a blank month there. And then I've also got the palette challenge version of that, and I don't want to have a blank month on that either. But it's that whole thing of, well, I've set this kind of obligation up, I've set this kind of challenge up, and I have to do the thing, but I don't want to do the thing. They were actually talking in Discord in a server earlier about a challenge where you only use 1 layer and you don't use the undo button at all. And maybe I should do that challenge. I mean, I definitely use more than 1 layer, but I think I could possibly do it. I would have to kind of reverse the way I do art, because at the moment my art is kind of, I do the sketch, and then my colouring style is I go from top down. So like the hair would be on top of everything, so I draw the front part of the hair first. I do the eyes. I go downwards slowly. For I guess I don't technically do it in quite strictly that order, because I often do skin I don't know. But I kind of do that top down layer, and I think if I only had 1 layer that I could use, I would have to start at the very bottom and then layer and layer on top of that, instead of going from top down, which wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing. It would just be different. What was I going to say? I started drawing Homestuck more often this year, so I think there's a couple of Homestuck fan arts in this. I don't know. I've already forgotten. I know there was definitely a Jade Harley speed art not long ago, and I've been really nailing down exactly how I want to draw different Homestuck characters. Like, I have how I want to draw Jade, I have how I want to draw Rose. I really enjoy drawing Rose. I think Rose might actually be one of my favourite characters in Homestuck. Originally, I was the lame, boring person whose favourite character was Dave, but you know what? I really like Rose, and I really like Kenyaya. I think I've drawn a decent amount of Rose, and I do draw her with Kanyaya, and I've drawn Kanyaya alone, and I've kind of nailed down how I like to draw those two characters. I've also drawn Aradia. I really love Aradia, and I like the way I draw her. She's a fun character to draw. What was I going to say? I've also drawn Vriska. I like Vriska. I know she's not purely good morally. Like, I don't think anyone would argue she's good in the slightest, but I like her as a character. I like that none of the characters are really purely morally good. They all have their flaws and drawbacks. But, you know, that's any good character in any series. They should have flaws. They should have drawbacks. And I don't think Vriska is a purely evil character either. Like, I don't think any of the Homestuck... No, I don't know. I haven't even finished reading Homestuck. So I'm sure there's some horrible things. Like, from the way people talk about some characters. And I think Bro was very established as, oh, we don't like him, very quickly on within it. I'm not really that far into Homestuck because I read Homestuck on my laptop. I've got the unofficial collection downloaded, and I don't really enjoy reading on my laptop. If I'm on my laptop, I'm probably either drawing or playing a game. Like, I don't use my laptop for much else. I use my phone for pretty much everything aside from drawing and games. I probably could draw on my phone, but I'd rather not. I don't think I've drawn any other Homestuck characters, but... Oh, I drew... What's the cat girl's name? Is it Nepeta? I want to say Nepeta. I drew her once. On request because I was asking what I should draw and got the response of Nepeta, and I drew her and her... Is it Respite Block? Yes, I think so. So I drew that. I don't know what month I drew that in. Maybe I'll do like a series one day where I draw all the Homestuck trolls. Why is this so slow on screen of the drawing of the shorts? It's weird. Was I just very inchly slow motion drawing that? But I think it would be fun to one day draw all of the Homestuck trolls in their respite, their bedrooms. And I think that I'm only just now thinking of this idea, so if I do it or not is up in the air. But I think that would be a fun thing to do. And January is also when I started... Oh, sorry, I was taping on my phone. But in January is also when I started on my webcomic. I think it's a webcomic. I don't know. It's got pages. It's got art. It's called Tender. It's based on my Minecraft survival world. It's just telling the story of... It's kind of sad when you play single-player Minecraft. I mean, single-player Minecraft is what I do all the time, but it's kind of sad because your character is in this world, they're all alone. I mean, there's NPCs like the villagers, but you can't... You trade with them, but you don't really understand each other. I just think it makes an interesting thing. Like, you're going into this world, you're the only one making changes, it is your world, you are there alone, and... Yeah, that's what Tender is. It's just comics. It's just pages detailing the changes of my Minecraft survival world. There's no words, there's no dialogue, it's just art. It's just pages of art. And in January is when I started doing that. I did the first 3 pages. And then in February I did 1 page. And then this month I've done 2 pages. It's going slowly. But you know what? It's going. I didn't include the pages of Tender in this because it didn't really feel like there was much point. I'm running out of time. You can see Tender on Webtoon, on Patreon for free. They posted on those 2 places first, but they're also on my Instagram. They're also on Tumblr. So, you know, check it out. I'm really happy with it. I feel like my scenery drawing has improved over time, and hopefully I will be back to kind of posting videos a little more often now. I really hate how olivey, goldy, greeny this character on the screen skin tone is. Like, I wish it was a more nicer shade of brown. But thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. Not that I really will see you. I cannot see through your webcams. Don't worry, don't rush to cover it with tape.